So in a bizarre announcement yesterday, Ryan Reynolds took to social media to reveal that Deadpool 3 would be coming in 2024, and it would also include a return from Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. There's much excitement, yet also critique surrounding this announcement, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts towards the news and discussing the potential pros and cons of this reveal. Before I get into it though, if you want to see more videos on Deadpool 3 and Marvel's upcoming slate in the future, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, turning on your notifications, and following me on social media via the links in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into my thoughts on Hugh Jackman's Wolverine being in Deadpool 3. So last night, Ryan Reynolds announced in a promo video that Deadpool 3 is on the way, and out of nowhere, he also revealed that Hugh Jackman's Wolverine would be returning one final time. In the video announcement, which you can find in the description of this upload, Reynolds said, "We're extremely sad to have missed D23, but we've been working very hard on the next Deadpool film for a good long while now. I've had to really search my soul on this one, and his first appearance in the MCU obviously needs to feel special. We need to stay true to the character, find new depth, motivation, and meaning. Every Deadpool needs to stand out and stand apart, and it's been an incredible challenge that has forced me to reach deep down inside. And I have nothing. But we did have one idea." And in the background, Hugh Jackman walks past and Reynolds says, "Hey Hugh, do you want to play Wolverine one more time?" And he replies, "Yeah, sure Ryan." The reveal ends with Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" retitled as "I Will Always Love Hugh," and the Deadpool logo appears, eventually sliced up by Wolverine's claws to announce that this is going to be the third Deadpool film. So as expected, a quite comedic reveal that, in the vein of something like No Way Home, gets a lot of people excited for yet another crossover or cameo role. So in the instance of this news, what do I think, and what does it mean for the addition of Wolverine in Deadpool 3? Well, like many have pointed out, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will likely either be a multiverse version of the character, or a version from before the events of Logan, which of course had the character die in a final swan song to that storyline. Now, I can sit here and say this isn't an exciting announcement from a fan perspective, because it totally is. I personally love Jackman's take on Wolverine, and his character has been involved in some of the best comic book films of all time, whether that be the first two X-Men films, Days of Future Past, or of course Logan. On top of that, the Deadpool films themselves have been solid, and in previous entries they've made jokes and references towards the legacy of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and the previous X-Men Origins film, which included both him and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, so it's fitting in that regard. So yes, on one side of things, I'm completely excited to see these two characters cross paths, and with it taking place in a multiverse where anything is possible, and you can involve a time period before the events of Logan, then logically it can happen. The question that has me slightly on the fence though is, should it happen, and is it a good idea? Now, it's ideal to point out that even James Mangold, the director of Logan, has come out in a subtle reply to this news, and while he clarified that he's excited to see what they do with Deadpool 3, he's also reminded us of the cultural impact of Logan's ending, and how that felt like an absolutely fitting end to what we saw with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Again, for me, it isn't a question of can this actually happen, because it clearly can with all of the multiversal structures in place. But the question is, should it? I mean, Deadpool is the ultimate fourth wall breaker who could easily cross paths with Jackman's take on Wolverine in the MCU, but after witnessing a storyline come to an end so perfectly, I don't know how I feel about a final appearance from him in a movie that stimulates the type of fan service that No Way Home brought back in 2021. And I'm someone who quite liked No Way Home. I think the film itself doesn't have the greatest sense of longevity because of its reliance on the multiversal fan service, but at the same time, it's an enjoyable experience that brought back characters and had them fuel the new Spider-Man that they are telling the main stories with. Now, it's entirely possible that Deadpool 3 will do something worth an appearance from Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, but then at the same time, I can't forget that we've already seen a version of this character be put to bed in a fitting way, and also that all the people involved with that take claimed that this was the big end for him. If we're to look at the MCU's current quality of projects, if this follows the same path, we're likely going to be getting a third Deadpool movie that's built on the type of fan service and cameo appearances that Disney have been continuously ushering in, solely driven by making lots of money off as much product as possible. And that just leaves me feeling quite weird towards all of this. In my opinion, and I think I speak for a growing number of people more recently, the MCU itself is in a position where most of the Phase 4 projects they've released theatrically or on the small screen have resulted in quite a mixed bag of quality. Yes, after doing so many films, they still continue to break the bank and make successful ones, but from a quality perspective, if we're looking at a future of films that rely on fan service to satisfy the crowd that devoured No Way Home, and unoriginal stories that take centre stage in that approach, I can't help but also feel quite exhausted by the types of announcements we're currently getting. Announcements are announcements at the end of the day, so we really need to wait and see whether this will transpire into something really good. But again, just from an outside perspective, it just seems more of the same when it comes to the MCU in dropping a shocking character crossover reveal that makes the internet go wild. Does it need to happen after already getting 20 years from Hugh Jackman's take on Wolverine and the perfect swan song for that character? Why not have a new take on Wolverine enter the MCU and really establish a new story that we didn't expect? Of course, they will hopefully do this in the years to come, but right now, we can only give our perspectives on current announcements and relate that to what they have done for us lately. And lately, we've really seen an influx of product, cameo reveals, and things that can really degrade the long-lasting quality of a film by solely pushing the money-grabbing moves that they continue to make. At the end of the day, we'll just have to see how they approach this before judging it, but in the current climate of things we have got, I can't help but feel weird towards the announcement. While I don't think that the MCU can reach the quality that a film like Logan strives to bring to the big screen, the fan in me is excited, and I'll give them a shot to see what they'll do. Essentially, as a fan of these characters, I'm excited, but then I'm also hesitant because I think more than anything, it's just a move to shock fans and suck them in, mainly through the product involved. My question is, what huge storytelling or character purpose could this serve other than to cross over these two characters in a single movie? That's the worry for me going into the film, and I just really hope they prove me wrong and find a way to make this great and feel natural. While I really enjoy the Deadpool films, and while this announcement excites me as a fan, I hope this film also has the quality. This is pretty much my problem with most of the fan service on display in the MCU's Phase 4, and I think with the plethora of projects that they are committing to, it would be nice to see them really take the time to make these projects last and produce some better filmmaking. I'll still be there day one, of course, to see what Deadpool 3 actually brings, but I'm not going to be blind to an announcement that feels very much aligned to the MCU's recent approach, even if it does star the great Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I just hope it feels natural and doesn't solely act as a cash grab by Disney, linking to what we've seen so often. But that was just my opinion on the news that Hugh Jackman is going to be returning as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. Again, the fan part of me is excited for this news, and I would love to see Wolverine and Deadpool in a movie together. But the other part sees the reintroduction of an actor playing this role whose story and time as that character was put to bed in the perfect way, now being reintroduced for Deadpool 3. To be honest, I don't know how to feel, but the excitement for it does of course have me there day one to see what they will eventually produce. But what do you guys think of the news, and are you excited for Hugh Jackman returning in the MCU, or are you also someone who feels that it either lessens the impact of Logan being that original final step, or a move simply made for more fan service? Let me know down below in the comment section. For more videos surrounding Marvel's projects in the future, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.